This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Friday, March 3rd, 2023. I'm Alex Brown. GE has announced plans to invest more than $450 million in several of its U.S. manufacturing facilities this year, including $7 million at the GE Aerospace Lafayette engine facility. The company said Thursday the funding will provide tooling support for the plant's LEAP and Passport engine production. A spokesperson for GE told Inside Indiana Business the investment will include the addition of new jobs, though a specific number was not provided. The Lafayette plant currently employs more than 230 people. New data shows Indiana continues to lead the nation in life sciences product exports, including pharmaceuticals, medical devices, and ag biosciences. BioCrossroads, Indiana's initiative to grow the life sciences sector, says $13 billion of the products were shipped out of the Hoosier State in 2022, compared to $12.7 billion the previous year. The Indiana Business Research Center at the IU Kelley School of Business, which provided the data, says Indiana is one of the top 3 states in exports of life sciences products. The sector supports more than 2,700 companies statewide. Students enrolled in Ivy Tech Community College Fort Wayne's Aviation Technology program will now have the ability to train on a flight simulator. The system, valued at up to $200,000, was given to the program from an anonymous donor. Ivy Tech says the training system allows students to earn credit toward their licenses and can save them up to $200 an hour. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Indiana business and community leaders, you're invited to a roadshow unlike any other. IBJ Media, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Economic Development Corporation are joining forces for the Engage Indiana series, presented by Indiana University and Old National Bank. A focus on talent, education, and issues that shape our economy. 7 regional events, 1 shared purpose, advancing the future of Indiana. Discover more at ibj.com/engage.
An adjunct professor of philosophy at Indiana University Northwest says while rates of worker burnout are at their highest level since May 2021, the feelings of burnout likely already existed but were only made visible by the pandemic. Rebecca Armstrong told the Associated Press 70% of executives want workers back in the office, but 80% of workers want to at least have the option to continue working remotely.
The pandemic changed the power balance between management and workers. The tremendous loss, for instance, 2 million working mothers just leaving the workplace because suddenly they had to be at home with their children, meant that the law of supply and demand tilted the balance in favor of workers. So workers seized that new power, and the first thing they wanted was flexibility of where and when to work. So for them to be called back to the workplace is a reduction in this newfound power.
To reduce burnout, Armstrong said employers need to reduce cognitive dissonance in the workplace, where workers are told one thing but see something completely different happening. A bill to legalize online casino gambling in Indiana failed to gain traction in the legislature for a 3rd consecutive year, despite earlier optimism about its prospects. House Bill 1536, authored by Republican Representative Ethan Manning of Logansport, would have allowed Hoosiers to play lottery and online casino games on their smartphones, tablets, and desktop computers. But Manning, who chairs the House Public Policy Committee where the bill was assigned, ultimately decided not to schedule it for a committee hearing by the deadline, allowing the legislation to die. The incoming CEO of Indianapolis-based Regan Street Institute says data plays a key role in developing solutions for health inequities across the country. Last month, the IU School of Medicine selected Dr. Rachel Patzer to lead the world-renowned medical research organization. The school says Patzer has spent a career finding innovative ways to collect and utilize data for solving complex health challenges, like access.
Access to healthcare is something that everyone really understands. There are challenges that we face, that many Hoosiers face in accessing healthcare. Even for people without economic constraints, it can be really difficult to make an appointment or get the healthcare we need in a timely manner. However, these problems related to access are magnified for minorities and individuals with lower income and those who live in rural areas.
Patzer begins her new role May 1st. The city of Valparaiso is about to get bigger. Lakeshore Public Radio's Michael Gallenberger reports.
The city council Monday adopted an annexation ordinance, adding 200 acres of land near State Road 49 and Vale Park Road. Planning Director Beth Schrader says it's mainly for the future community sports and recreation complex, but it also includes a future business campus and lets the city clean up its boundaries. During a public hearing in January, Schrader downplayed residents' concerns about the park's impact on the neighboring Meadowbrook subdivision, which will remain just outside the city limits.
It's not going to happen right away. And when it does happen, it is anticipated to be a more passive, natural area with trails, space for wildlife, observation, nature, interpretive signage, things like that.
Schrader acknowledged that the development would likely mean an increase in traffic, but she said the extension of Memorial Parkway should help. For Lakeshore News, I'm Michael Gallenberger.
Former Indy news anchor Fanchon Stinger is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.